Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm D Love. My channel's D Love. Glad to have you here today. I'm going to do a Celtic cross today using Longmiller Duquette's Tarot Ceremonial Magic. I'm shuffling for the heart of the matter for a community read for anyone who happens upon this at any time. It's a timeless read. And please accept what you will and leave the rest. All right. The Prince of Cups. Coming up quickly, April 11th through May 10th. It's a card of Taurus, late Aries, early Taurus. And it's a real go-getter card. All right, the crossing energy on this is the beautiful devil. So we're looking at the opposition that comes with the hard work that it goes into tilling the earth and planting seeds and all the hard work involved in that. The opposition that sometimes tells us to do things differently. And we'll just take a look at it and see the opposition as a crossing energy. Our crowning energy is the Ace of Discs, is all the potential that's available. And the grounding energy on this is despair and cruelty. So this is this despair and cruelty can really affect how we do our work and the potential involved, depending on how we look at it. So let's see what brought us into this energy. The Queen of Cups, feeling our feelings and really just immersing ourselves in all of our feelings and the water. And what's coming out of this immersion and then the water plus the earth tilling it and preparing it for planting and the planting that will come, even with the despair and cruelty, and taking a real good look at it and seeing what the other side of that is, which may be love and support, uplifting and support. It's possibility. It's the Knight of Discs. This energy mature and grown up. So we can expect a maturing from the masculine, a maturation. We are the Seven of Swords. Right now we're unstable effort. So we perhaps this is a little further in the future once we feel more stable in this. Because we have some towers coming down, some ways that perhaps we've thought, and now we see that true happiness and freedom is not in that crown that we so heavily carried. We're dancing upon the tower, willing it to come down now. Mars and Saturn. What we most fear out of all of this, and want at the same time, is that strife, that pressure, that just unrelenting desire, that fire. We want it and fear it. And what's going to be the outcome of all of this energy, which is it's going to be short. It's with this being a minor arcana, and yes, even though this is how we're going about, we're tearing down and dancing on our own towers, the ones that we no longer need. We want this strife. We want that just practice and getting better and being driven by fire. Yeah, we fear it. And what's going to come out of it is justice, Lady Justice, a true sense of balance. This sword stands true, and she stands on it and behind it. It is her guide, her backbone. So we're going to see a real balance and justice. Let's see, in our works. These are immaterial works, and I mentioned that before. And things are working for us while we stand even in this unstable effort. I'm going to now go to Gurdjieff. I missed, my camera turned off yesterday, so I will go back to the section. I'm reading the section on wrong functions. Okay. Okay. Excuse me for that interruption, folks. This is from P.D. Uspensky's and Gurdjieff's The Fourth Way. I'll start here. Well, tell me what interests you most in all this and what you want to hear more about. And then Uspensky says, he asks a question. I was interested in the question of imagination. I suppose it means that in the ordinary application of the word, one was using the wrong meaning. Answer. In the ordinary meaning of imagination, the most important factor is missed. But in the terminology of the system, we begin with what is most important. The most important factor in every function is it under our control or not? So when imagination is under our control, we do not even call it imagination. We call it by various names: visualization, excuse me, folks. I just noticed my thumbnail has, I think I burned my thumbnail. In the ordinary meaning of imagination, the most important factor is missed. But in the terminology of this system, we begin with what is most important. The most important factor in every function is it under our control or not? So when imagination is under our control, we do not even call it imagination. We call it by various names: visualization, creative thinking, inventive thinking. You can find a name for each special case. But when it comes by itself and controls us so that we are in its power, then we call it imagination. Again, there is another side of imagination which we miss in ordinary understanding. This is what we imagine non-existent things, non-existent capacities, for instance. We ascribe to ourselves powers which we do not have. We imagine ourselves to be self-conscious, although we are not. We have ordinary powers and imaginary self-conscious, and we imagine ourselves to be one, when really we are many different I's. There are many such things that we imagine about ourselves and other people. For instance, we imagine that we can do, that we have choice. We have no choice. We cannot do things. Things just happen to us. A lot of that is that works. Things that are in momentum that we perhaps wrote before the star. So we imagine ourselves, really. We are not what we imagine ourselves to be. Question: is there any difference between imagination and daydreaming? Answer: if you cannot control daydreaming, it means that it is part of imagination, but not all of it. Imagination has many different sides. We imagine non-existent states, non-existent possibilities, non-existent powers. Could you give me a definition of negative imagination? Answer: imagining all kinds of unpleasant things, torturing oneself, imagining all the things that might happen to you or other people, things like that. It takes different forms. Some people imagine different illnesses, some imagine accidents, others imagine misfortunes. Question: is the control of your emotions a reasonable objective? Answer: control of emotions is a very difficult thing. It is a very important part of self-study, but we cannot begin with the control of emotions because we do not understand enough about emotions. I will explain. What we can do from the very beginning of observing the emotional function is to try to stop one particular manifestation in ourselves. We must try to stop the manifestation of unpleasant emotions. For many people, this is one of the most difficult things because unpleasant emotions are expressed so quickly and so easily that you cannot catch them. Yet, unless you try, you cannot really observe yourself. So, from the very beginning, when observing emotions, you must try to stop the expression of unpleasant emotions. This is the first step. In this system, we call all these unpleasant, violent, or depression or depressing emotions by the name of negative emotions. Okay, folks, I'm going to stop there in the middle of this paragraph and go back to this next time under wrong functions. Thank you so much for joining me and joining my channel. Any of you that have or may. Thank you and beautiful day.